Hi, I'm going to show you how to install a Chrome extension from a folder, so something that you downloaded from the internet and not from the Chrome web store. I also have a few other things to say, but let's look at the process first. To start, you'll need the folder with the extension you're going to install. I assume you already have it like I do. Mine is in my downloads folder to make it easy to find. I'm also assuming you trust the source that you got it from. Now, we'll need to put this in a safe place since you cannot delete this folder later. This folder is the extension. I usually use my applications folder, but you can make something in your documents folder or wherever you'd like. Let's do that for the sake of demonstration. I'll make a new folder in my documents and call it applications. Then I'll double click in there and make another called Yomichan, since that's what I'm installing for this demonstration. Now, I'll drag the extension file into that folder I just made. If you have a zip file, you'll need to unzip it so that it's also a folder. For most systems, you can right-click and choose Extract Here or something similar. If you don't see something like that, check the description for a tutorial on how to unzip a file. Now, you should either have a bunch of files or a folder. What we want to end up with is a folder, and when we double-click into it, there's some files that look generally like this. That folder, with the files in it, is the extension that we need to use. So, to make it easier to recognize, let's rename it to have the word extension. Now, open a Chromium-based web browser. Google Chrome, Chromium, Edge, Brave, basically everything will work except for Firefox. If you don't know if you have a Chromium browser, then you probably do. Go to the URL chrome://extensions, or look for the little puzzle piece in the top right. Click it and then manage extensions. Depending on your browser, this might be in a slightly different spot, but if you can't find it, the URL method will work. If you have any extensions, you'll see them here. But we're specifically looking for the developer mode switch. It's usually in the top right, but Edge, for example, has it over here. Turn it on wherever it is. Now, click Load Unpacked, which should have appeared somewhere. Navigate to where you made all those folders, look for the folder which is the extension, double-click it, and it'll install, or you have to click Open or something like that, but then it'll install. If everything is done correctly, you'll be sent to the settings screen for the extension, or it'll appear in your list of extensions. Great work! You're basically done. You can close all other windows and configure your new extension. If it didn't work, make sure you properly unzipped the file and select the right one. If you're going to sideload an extension like this, you should be aware of the risk. While something being on the Chrome web store doesn't 100% guarantee that it's perfectly safe, there are slightly more risks to downloading something from the internet and putting that onto your machine. That being said, if you downloaded this from a public page on the internet or a GitHub page, then you're most likely fine since other people can see and review that code. If you are worried about your safety, you can install this on another browser. You can actually have several different web browsers on your machine at one time. There's tons of different options, from Vivaldi to Brave to Chromium to Opera. And this can actually become a useful productivity hack as well. I have a different browser for a bunch of different reasons. Firefox is for personal things, Chrome is for work, Brave is for Spanish, and Edge I use for making tutorials like this one. And something that might happen as you're installing an extension is that the developer might expect you to do some DIY and find some things yourself or download some other pieces. For example, here at Refold, we frequently recommend these alternate Yomichans to people learning French, Spanish, German, or Russian. But there's no simple and obvious way to download the extension from the GitHub page. If you run into something like this, you should read the instructions by the developer. In this case, I see that I should start by downloading the entire repository, which I'll then have to unzip. And then I see there are several different folders, but thankfully they're labeled, so I can delete these other ones that I don't need. Then I download the different files from releases, following the instructions. I do everything else it says from earlier in the video, and now I can import the settings. And so now I just have to follow the rest of the instructions. I'm not going to do the Forvo settings right now since it's also pretty simple to do if you can find the right places, but honestly, it's not even that useful. The dictionary is more than enough. That's all I have for this video. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch. And if you found this video and don't know who we are at Refold, let me explain as quickly as I possibly can. We're a language learning company dedicated to help as many people in the world become highly fluent in any language they want and have fun doing it. Our approach includes a lot of time spent with the language, doing things like reading books, watching TV shows, and spending a lot of time here on YouTube. If you've been struggling to learn a language and want to do it for real this time, click the link below and subscribe for more information. I'll see you next time. Happy immersing.
I'm here to drop some knowledge, listen up with your ears. I got a language learning method, gonna make it crystal clear. It's called Refold, the game changer, gonna blow your mind. Immerse yourself in media, fluency you will